Hello, and thanks for joining me today, my crafty friends. I have some really fun dies that I'm very excited to show you. These are from Spellbinders, and these are like 2-die wonders in each kit. I just adore them. This first one is called Be Bold Color Block Love You Etched dies, and it includes this 5.5 by 4.25 inch die that says love, and then a smaller one that cuts out the letters for you. I have a bunch of examples that I'm going to be showing you in this video that I created with this particular set. And the next one is a slimline set, and this is 8.5 by 3.5. It's called Be Bold Color Block Merry Christmas Etched dies. The large die cuts out the word Christmas, and the small one cuts out the letters to Merry. And as their names indicate, you can create some really bold and graphic cards with these dies. So I'm going to use the love dies for my first card. I cut it out with some wild berry cardstock and also a piece of pattern paper from the Fun Stamper's Journey. This one is called Follow Your Heart Prints, and it's these cute diagonal stripes that I'm going to be using. So this is going to be an all one layer card, and I'm going to use liquid glue to pop these into place. My card panel is 5.5 by 4.25 exactly, and they line up to the very edges. I'm going to be working right to left and just paper piecing these all together. The negative pieces and the positive pieces. This will be a very flat and easy card to send out into the mail. But you can make up these cards really fast, and it is so much fun. So all of the letters do touch each other, so you need to line them up perfectly. Sorry, my head gets in the way there. And then I just paste in the wild berry cardstock in between. And then I have another set of love words that I can use on another card. The love dies are really easy to paper piece like this. However, with the Christmas set, I don't think I would do this because there are a lot of negative pieces to that set. Now let's pop this last one in place here. And isn't that cute? Oh, here's one more teeny tiny little piece. So I already cut out the U letters with some black cardstock. I cut it out 3 times. And I'm going to be gluing them all together so that it creates a little bit of dimension, just a little bit of dimension on the front of the card. So let's glue these into place. And I love the shape of these letters. They're so much fun. I like how that Y kind of overlaps the O. And it does help to have tweezers or some kind of pickup stick or jewel picker to help you with this. I'm using my Spellbinders grid paper just so I don't get glue on my mat. Once these are all together, I'm going to figure out where to put them on top of this card, and you could put them anywhere and it'll just look darling. But I'm going to put them kind of at the right bottom. I'm bringing in a little bit of festive berries to make the letters pop a little bit more. I'll just go around the edges of this card, all 4. I really love working with Spellbinders color block dies. They came out with several this year, and some of them were even the kits of the month. But it's just a fast and easy way to add color to your cards. So let's finish up this last edge here, and then we can glue down the U. I'll start with the U. And since this card is all one layer and one level, I can just glue these down flat. Very easy. Let's glue down the Y. I'm using my tweezers here to help me pop this into place. Now we can attach this to a card base. This is a top folding landscape card. I'll just use a little bit of liquid glue to do this. My last touch is going to be adding some gems around the U, and I used some silver gems for this. And that card is all done. For my next card, I cut out the letters with some pink sand cardstock from Spellbinders, and I'm using a little bit of picked raspberry to add some color to the bottoms of these letters. I want it to be just a little bit of a darker pink. I already cut down another piece of the pattern paper from the Follow Your Heart prints, and it measures 5.5 by 4.25 again. And it has the cutest X's and O's on it, and it's just a subtle gray background pattern. This time I'm going to be popping these letters up with some foam strips. I really like this look of the dark pink at the bottom and then the light pink at the top. So I already went ahead and added the foam strips behind these letters. I'm going to start by adding the L first and then the E. And this time I'm adding a little bit of liquid glue over the foam tape. I thought maybe this would help give me some wiggle room so I can wiggle these into place easier. I've seen other crafters do this, but it didn't help me. It seems like they still got stuck into place pretty fast, so I had to be careful putting these down. Now the top of the V is going to touch the top of the E. So once you get to that level, the rest of the V letter will just pop into place. And then here is the O. I'm adding some more liquid glue. Next time I'm not going to do this. And then this does have a right side up, so you have to be careful, making sure to put it down the correct way. This is the large die of the month from last February, and it's called Birthday Wishes for Everyone. I'm going to use that strip die to cut out a strip of white cardstock to put under my letters. But before I do that, I'm going to pop this into a box and do a little bit of ink flicking or ink spattering. And I'm using some Distress Oxide sprays. And this one is Abandoned Coral, and then the first one was Picked Raspberry. I love playing with these lately. I just open up the top of the bottle and use the nozzle to do the spattering. And then I'm going to set this aside for a good hour to dry. Once it's dry, I'm coming in with a white Jelly Roll pen and adding my own flick marks with the pen, just adding little white dots all over it. I have to find some white gouache or paint that's good for flicking and dappling your cards. Let's put down the U now, and I cut this out with white cardstock. I wanted to bring in the white spatters to coordinate with the white cardstock here. Now we can add the line under the U. I think this just gives it a cute touch. I'll add this to another white landscape top folding card base. And then I'm going to add some crystal clear gems around the U. And here is a close-up look. I can't believe I'm making Valentine's Day cards already. However, you could send these out any time of year. Now let's move into one of the Christmas cards. The easiest way I found to do this is to emboss it. So I embossed it with some black cardstock using my Spellbinders die cutting machine, and every die cutting machine is different, so you'll just have to read the instructions to yours. I added some clear glitter over the negative spaces of this panel. And then since I embossed this, it's really easy to see where I need to put the letters. I'm going to glue them down flat with some liquid glue, and I cut them out with pink, green, and red. These are all Spellbinders cardstocks, and if you're interested in the colors, I'll list them in the description box below. You can see how fast this is to put together if you emboss it first. And I'm going in a pattern of red, pink, and green. I love these three colors for Christmas cards. If I had had some black glitter cardstock in my stash, I would have, of course, used that in place of the clear glitter pen. Would have been faster too. But I love the look of that glitter on the black cardstock. Now let's add our Merry letters. I'm hoping that Spellbinders comes out with more of these Be Bold color block dies. It would be fun to have one that says like missing you or happy birthday or even an oh happy day would be fabulous. So let's adhere this panel to a white card base, and here is the finished card. I added a bunch of gems around the sentiment, Merry. The next card I did exactly the same way. I embossed the Christmas die onto a piece of red cardstock, and I just chose a different color palette with some green mirror cardstock for some of the letters. And instead of using Merry, I used the word happy from this die set. This is called the Simply Perfect Mix and Match Sentiments. And then I added a few gold fashion embellishments around the panel. I love the red background on this card. These are so fast and fun to put together, and they're going to give the recipient a really big wow factor when they open up their envelope. So here's another love card, and I turned the O into a shaker element. I cut out the letters with brushed gold cardstock, and this is another piece of pattern paper from that same pad, Follow Your Heart prints. So if you're watching this video on October 20th of 2021, these dies are available today. I'm sure they're going to sell out fast because they are so much fun to create with, and the other color block dies sold out really fast as well. I'll have all of the links listed in the description box below. Thanks so much for spending some of your time with me today. Have a wonderful day. Bye.